Good morning, everyone. My name is Chelsea Casanova. I am currently a healthcare administrator at Brookdale Patriot Heights in San Antonio, Texas. Honestly, when I thought of continuing my education, I figured with my career path, an MBA would be most beneficial to me. Then the real world happened. I started my first full-time job as a Clare Bridge program manager, which is Brookdale's name for their memory care program. I learned from reading the program manual that had been established using research and a lot of helpful tips to run a successful program, but mostly hands-on with the residents and the amazing team I worked with daily. We definitely had our challenging days that required telling each other to take a walk and get a breather, but I believe we all truly love what we did. To this day, that job, the team, and those residents are near and dear to my heart. They played a crucial role in my development as a leader and advocate for residents living with dementia. In fact, I always felt this gratitude for the Clare Bridge staff because of a rather enlightening experience I had at another community working as an activities assistant. I had been assisting in the dining room and decided to go look for one of the residents I frequently had joked around with, and she enjoyed attending all activities. I found her alone in the living room with this confused expression. I asked her why she wasn't in the dining room and if she was hungry. She expressed that she in fact was hungry, but didn't have the money to pay for her food, so she was gonna sit in the dining room until everyone was done. Immediately, I just smiled, did my best to reassure her, and told her that the food was already paid for. She was happy with that answer and allowed me to escort her to the dining room. At the time, I knew very little about dementia and even less about what she was going through being in such a large population with very few residents that were living with dementia. All I really could think about is what's happening if I'm not here to go and look for her. So it really bothered me, and I made a point to speak to our activities director about it, and she brought this up in a meeting. Her response to me was in an email that she was grateful that I had caught this and shared it with her because the resident had been losing weight, but the team would be addressing it and educating staff on this new behavior that she had. I really couldn't believe that things like this happened. This incident always reminded me how fortunate I was to work in Clare Bridge and made me proud to have been a part of a person-centered program with well-trained staff and appropriate staffing ratios. It has served as a reminder to me that there is a lot of work to be done, and not all communities are well equipped to handle residents living with dementia. So when I heard about the MSDA program, I knew it would be perfect for me and something enjoyable. It was an opportunity to continue benefiting the Clare Bridge program, but also could be beneficial to me as an administrator. The long-term care courses that I needed were a part of this program, and also the internship so that I could receive my license. The courses left me well prepared, and I had a great internship with a team of people that really allowed me to join in on everything they did every day and let me work hands-on with them. So it was really beneficial to me so that I could learn, and I actually did pass my state and national exams the first time, and I definitely credit the program for that. My focus now as an administrator is different than my previous role, and most would think it's strictly related to meeting regulatory standards, lowering overtime, and reducing turnover. Budgeting, which it is, but because of my background in these courses, it's been much more. I use what I learn to hire. I seek compassionate, fresh minds that understand the importance of person-centered care and culture change. In things that we purchase for the residents, I think home-like and what is going to be most beneficial for them. If a resident is showing certain behaviors or expressing themselves in ways most would consider inappropriate, we do not automatically just think, let's discharge this resident. We work as a team to find solutions. We think outside of simply reaching out to a physician for medication adjustment. We involve resident programs, our social worker. The entire interdisciplinary team gets involved to strategize. We also encourage the family, if they're available, to help us in brainstorming ideas for the resident. Also, in our marketing strategy, I tell our healthcare liaison and our admissions director that we do not only market our product of skilled nursing and rehab, we market solutions. Even if the person reaching out to us does not need our services, let's find solution for them. I believe that's our niche. We are different than other communities because we're going to help them find whatever they need. I teach what I learn every week. I feel like many times the readings have been that extra passion I need to take to our stand-up meetings or our leadership meetings to remind the team of our mission to enrich lives and serve residents and their families every day. The program has really allowed me to think of the problems that elderly face, caregivers, staffing issues that we deal with, and want to be a part of making the situations better and making our associates and our residents' lives better. I've learned of theories related to aging I had never thought of, and often compare what I learned to actual residents I spend time with every day. One example is with the activity theory. Although the theory has its flaws, I feel that it still teaches us that residents need to feel engaged and not just left to do busy work. The disengagement theory, it really does teach us that it's possible. I believe it is possible that as people age, that they may feel the need to disengage, and it's important that we're aware of that so that we can prevent it from happening to our residents. Also, with the continuity theory as well, people's personalities, they do matter. Their past life matters, and we should make a point of getting to know them and their history. So, application of these theories, it's been helpful for me in my role as ClearBridge program manager, also when I was a resident program director, but even currently now as an administrator, I'll speak with our resident programs coordinator or social worker and help with ideas. A couple things that we recently did, special events or marketing. We think of ideas that are going to engage our residents, such as the Act of Kindness Day. That really was a success. We passed out flowers to people at Luby's, and the residents come back from the outing, and many of them were just so excited and came to tell me that they really felt like they had made a difference that day because of how many people had smiled and hugged them and thanked them for giving them that flower and making their day. So, even like making blankets for children that are going to spend Christmas in the hospital. That's something else that we did at one point. And again, the response is well received from residents because they feel that they're involved in something great and they want to be a part of doing good to other people. And of course, that's more so related to the activity theory. A few studies that I've been able to learn about are related to the caregiver burden. I know that's been very helpful to me. We don't just want to be able to support our residents, we also want to be able to support their loved ones and those helping in their care. We really do try to partner with them, and I believe that requires us to be able to assist them when they have any issues or just want to talk. And there have been times that I do hope I've been able to comfort them or be of some benefit whenever they've come to me in need of just venting. Also, research done on staff turnover in long-term care and the lack of training. For me, it's more so being aware of it so that I can ensure that we continue to provide our associates with the tools they need, and recognizing that if we don't, it really does put us at risk for having that revolving door in our community, and it really does affect the residents, and it affects the overall atmosphere of the community. I know that the state of Texas, dads, they've really been enforcing reduction of antipsychotics. I believe that some communities in Texas probably do struggle with reducing their antipsychotics because they may not be aware of other methods they can be using to help with residents and any challenges. The automatic thought probably is, let's call the doctor and see what new medication can help us. It is unfortunate, and I'm glad that I'm aware of other methods and can assist the team and residents' families with coming up with other ideas. And truly, we have had several success stories where residents settle in, and maybe that first week or two, we struggled, but we managed to have the resident settle in and feel at home with us. Also, a huge one is citizenship for residents living with dementia. Until I was a part of this program, I hadn't thought about the stigma that comes with a diagnosis of dementia. Whether it be someone approaching a resident and myself and just speaking to me because the thought is that person doesn't understand. And I wasn't as aware of it as I am now, that I know the terms and what happens to these residents and the loss that they face with this diagnosis. So it is very important to me and has been helpful in my career. So when residents are at our community for rehab, it's typically 2 to 3 weeks that they're with us and just a short stay. So it can be challenging to get to know the families and the residents in such a short amount of time. But we make a point to get into the room no later than, I'd say, within 48 hours to say hello and introduce ourselves. So one of the things we do to provide good customer service is before leaving the room, we will say, "Is there anything else I can do for you?" And for me, it's shocked me how this question typically gives families an opportunity to share what their concerns are or what thoughts are going through their mind, even though I had just spoken to them. I guess they're thinking, okay, well, I guess she has some time, so let me talk to her. One example that recently happened to me is with a resident's wife. Our social worker had told her of his discharge date, so she asked me to come over to her husband and lifted up the sleeve to his shirt, and I saw a large tattoo with green lettering stating, "If ever lost or stolen, please call his wife," with her number in the center of it. And my initial thought is, why would anyone tattoo someone like that? And I kind of took a step back and reminded myself that I didn't know what that woman had been going through and what had led her to think that that was her only option, to tattoo him, in hopes of, if he ever was lost, that she would be called about it. So while he was with us, he really did not show any signs of dementia. It was not in his medical record. He did not attempt to leave the building at any time. He had settled in well, had participated in therapy. She was shocked and said all she could think of is that maybe because of the structure of everything, having a set schedule for therapy, set meal times, that maybe that's why he had done so well, and we didn't realize that he was showing early signs of dementia. So she just was distraught and said, "I cannot go back to the way we were living. What are my options?" And we did. We found a solution for her. We found a place that she was comfortable with and was in her budget. So those are all things that I feel the program helps me handle those situations, has helped me handle these situations a lot more confidently, and really even more so compassionately than I would have in the past. This program has continuously made me reflect and evaluate myself and our community. I'm conscious of the way I treat residents, caregivers, and even our associates due to everything that I've learned in these courses. Overall, I know what I've learned contributes to how I handle situations and helps me in my decision making at work. I want to thank everyone involved in the MSDA program. I know it is fairly new, so I'm excited to see the program expand. I'm confident more and more people will become interested in what this program has to offer. It's exciting to know that every semester more students are learning methods to enhance the lives of our seniors. From my experience, everyone managing and teaching in this program has a true, genuine passion to change the world for those living with dementia and the overall aging population. So thank you.